So I've coached many people in regards to getting 3D clients, and a lot of people still are complaining or talking about the same points over and over again, which is I'm doing everything right, but I still can't get 3D clients. And like, why is that? The reason most artists and most 3D artists don't make money with 3D is because you're treating this as art instead of business. What you need to understand is you're providing a service that is helping a brand make more money by enhancing their visuals. So if you don't frame your services that way, they're never gonna pay you money. So let me give you an example. Let's say that I'm walking in the street and I give you this Red Bull, okay? And I tell you this Red Bull is $20 and it just tastes good. You're less likely to buy it compared to if I give you this Red Bull and be like, this drink is gonna help you focus. It has 80 milligrams of caffeine, so you can get more work done. And when you get more work done, that's gonna lead to you making more money. And this product is $20. Look at the difference between this and that. The first time, I'm just selling him the drink. I'm like, it tastes good. Okay, it tastes good. That's not enough value for me to spend $20. And I said $20 because it's a bit way too high compared to how much a Red Bull is. So it needs to make sense. However, when I frame it in the way that this Red Bull is gonna give you caffeine, and caffeine helps you focus, do more work, and when you do more work, that's gonna lead to you making more money, then I sold you on the result, then I sold you on the outcome, which is a huge difference. It's a huge difference when you're talking about the outcomes. The reason you're not making money is because you're approaching brands and telling them, I make good renders. Good renders don't mean anything. You're treating this as art when it's business, when it's sales. Don't get pissed that it's sales. Everything is sales. If you're trying to convince your friends to go out with you, that's selling them on the idea of going out with you. Sales is not this bad thing and this bad reputational thing. You're literally helping a brand take the right decision towards making more money and enhancing their brand's identity. It's pretty much like fitness coaches. Fitness coaches are always trying to sell you on their fitness coaching. That doesn't mean that it's bad that they're messaging you. They're literally trying to help you be a better version of yourself. Be this muscular person, be this more healthier version of yourself. So that's the first thing you need to keep in mind. You shouldn't be selling the product, you should be selling the outcome. When you sell the outcome, that's gonna be the value that the client is taking from you. They're not just taking good looking visuals, they're taking visuals that's gonna help them make more money, save them time, and enhance their brand identity. Now, the second reason a lot of people fail is when they actually do get a 3D client, they never ever work on value, or delivering them a crazy amount of value, or over delivering. And what that means is, if the client asks you for 3 renders, you just give them 3 renders. If you tell the client, I'm gonna give you this render in 1 week, you give them in 1 week. You're not over delivering. Over delivering is telling your client you're gonna do it in 1 week and giving it to them in 3 days or 4 days. Then all of a sudden they're like, oh, this guy's good. Like, he told me 1 week, but he worked harder and quicker and faster to get me the project done because he appreciates my time. He said that I'm gonna only give you 3 renders, but he gave me an extra free render because he really loves my brand and he actually wants me to succeed. When you start giving value that way, you're gonna start to get more referrals. And referrals are the most important part of this game. 3D is a referrals game. Once you start getting the ball rolling with 3D clients, you're just going to be getting endless testimonials, you're going to be getting endless referrals, and you're going to be getting endless inbound leads and inbound messages from brands that want to work with you because their friend worked with you and his friend was telling him about how amazing this guy is, and this 3D artist that I work with, we only agreed on 3 or 4 renders, but he gave me an entire free animation and now my brand looks way better. That's how you're going to get referrals, and that's how you're going to level up and scale and make more money. Now, the third point, and this is not the most important one, doesn't really apply to a lot of people, but your work is not that great. You have basic renders that don't really make a brand look better. Because again, we're selling the outcome of the services that you're providing. We're not just selling images and pixels on a screen. Pixels on a screen have no value. These pixels need to do something. So you need to actually be very good at lighting. You need to be very good at texturing and the animation. Now, you don't need to be the best, but you need to be good enough. If you're good enough, you can start getting clients and you can start the snowball effect. You don't need to master it. You don't need to go to college for 4 years and learn 3D. And when it comes to showing your work, on your Instagram profile, don't have all of your old renders. Because imagine that I'm a client and I see the first 3 posts, and these first 3 posts are really, really good renders. But I scroll and scroll and then I start seeing some of your very old renders. I'm gonna get turned off. Make sure that the renders on your profile are only the best 3D renders that you've ever produced. Delete all of the old work that doesn't look as good. It's better to have 6 pieces that are super good than 10 pieces with only 4 or 5 of them that are actually that good. And the last point, which is mindset. This is a numbers game. You need to understand that you're gonna be putting so many hours and so many repetitions so you could actually start making money from 3D. It's not gonna be this simple process where you send a few messages and all of a sudden a client wants to pay you $1,000. It's way harder than you think. And the sooner you understand that and accept that, the more likely you are to succeed. Because people approach this with the mindset of, I'm just gonna send 100, 200 messages on Instagram and that's it. Or I'm only gonna send 10 or 15 messages per day. Bro, 10 or 15 messages per day, that's gonna take you a month probably before you get your first client. It took me 1,700 DMs before I landed my first client. Imagine 1,700 DMs, divide that by 10. It's literally gonna take you half a year, bro, to get your first 3D clients. Oh, but Instagram has a limit. That's the wrong approach. Instagram has a limit, work around it. You're not a tree. If Instagram has a limit, send the maximum amount of messages you can send from Instagram and do the rest as email outreach. You shouldn't get a rejection from a client that tells you no or tells you to fuck off and then you're like, I don't want to make money, 3D is so hard. You can't be this soft. Imagine yourself in front of a lake and you throw the fish rod. You're gonna have to sit and wait until someone takes the bait, until a fish takes the bait. It's literally fishing. When you're outreaching to brands, you're just going and fishing. And eventually one of these fishes are gonna be caught. But you can't be like fishing there and saying, but maybe the water is too cold. Maybe that's the reason there's no fish. Bro, it doesn't matter. Or you can't be going out, the sun is too hot. Like, I don't wanna be standing there for too long. Oh, guess what, bro? You're gonna get sunburned. Because it takes so many hours and so many repetitions and so much work for you to succeed in such an industry. So if I were to summarize why a lot of people, most people, fail in this industry is you're treating this as art, not business. You're saying and talking about your services and how good your renders are, but you're not actually selling the outcome of it. Like, this is gonna make you more money, this helps your brand, this. Your mindset, and you have limiting beliefs about yourself that this is too hard and you can't do this and your work is terrible. Your portfolio is a complete mess. You have character images and you have a picture of your dog and then a picture of your grandma and then a picture of your mouse. Like, it can't be this messy. You need to be professional. You need to act professionally. You need to actually show the clients and potential clients what sort of value you actually bring on the table. Now, if you're still wondering by now, well, okay, that makes sense, but where do I actually start to get these accounts, or what sort of messages should I be sending for these brands? That's a fair question. And because I wished I had something like this in the start, and that's why I made a completely free training video about how to actually find leads, what sort of messages you should be sending. And I really wish I had something like this in the start. So make sure to check it out. It's the first link in the description, and I'll see you in the next video.